This isn't a bad day, and it's beautiful weather. Great day to have a soccer tournament here in Greensboro, North Carolina, as we get ready to kick this game off between GUSA Red and the Carolina Classic Soccer Club. So Greensboro 0-1 so far in this field. Let's see if their other team can pick up the slack here.
And this is going to be a fun game to watch here, Chad. I'm pretty pumped about it.
You see Greensboro going from left to right, in blue, and going the other way is the Carolina Classic in white. Actually, scratch that. Greensboro is in white, and Carolina Classic is in blue.
I'd like to point out real quick, we're talking about this before the game. Me and myself and one of the producers, not for this game but for the last game, Shane Waitman, are all the way from the coach's aide in Denver, Colorado. And I went to school here, the same school that Chad now goes to, Guilford College, where I used to play soccer, and Chad and I just missed each other on that front. But we were talking about the Carolina, the smell of North Carolina, the fresh grass smell, and I've missed it, and it smells, it smells beautiful.
Yeah, I'm sure you're glad to be back, especially you picked a great day to come back. The weather's been pretty cold these last couple weeks here. I mean, comparatively, cold here is not very cold in Colorado. But cold for us in North Carolina is.
Yep. Mother Nature must be a coach's aide fan.
Yeah. Well, that's fine with me. Looks like Greensboro earned a throw in. Both teams still trying to feel each other out here in the first early goings of this first half. Wind starting to pick up a little right to left breeze here. Coming towards the camera if you're watching us online. And so far it looks like both teams are pretty even over the field. Looks like Carolina Classics might have a smaller back line, especially looking at looks like Hemphill wrong team there. Number 2 over there looks like extremely small, so we'll be looking for him to exploit that as that cross goes in, caught easily in a kind of a wild throw there by the keeper. Not sure if that was really necessary. Coming from a keeper, you want to try and find a player out there.
Yeah, and sometimes you want to go for the quick distribution out to one of your teammates, try to catch the defense off guard, but I feel like the goalkeeper would have been a lot more productive if he punted the ball upfield rather than throwing it towards the middle of the field.
Yeah, and usually on those distributions too, you kind of want to keep those low and try and pick a player out, not just look like he kind of wildly threw that. But nonetheless, Carolina Classics has the ball, lost it there. And a good play there by Landry. And given right back away there by Spencer.
I'm going to start this game off here, not waste any time by making my bold statement of the game, Chad. I know a lot of listeners out there ready for my bold statement. And it's the game of possession. Soccer is such a beautiful sport and played most beautifully when both teams play good possession. So, and most importantly, at midfield. So trying to play possession up at midfield, let the gaps and the lanes open up through the defense, and then playing those balls through the defense or playing the possession game upfield. So the team that plays better possession at midfield will win this game.
All right, and there is Pat Child's bold statement of the game, brought to you by Coach's Aid. And a good statement. I don't know how much so far the possession's been really back and forth, a lot of long balls being played, but if either team can settle this down and their forwards look like they're not quite as high as they need to be, as that one's kicked out of bounds, it'll be a Carolina Classics throw in over here on the right side. Just about midfield. Be taken here by Spencer.
Yeah, and it seems like not a lot of both teams need to check to the ball more, and that creates those options for the player with the ball, and most of the time a lot of great opportunities offensively can come from that.
Yeah, a lot of kickball here so far to start this game, and same referee and the same head ref here reffing this game as the last game, as that touches a little bit too far. I don't think he'll be able to get to it, and he won't, so it'll be a goal kick awarded to the Carolina Classics. But, you know, this referee likes to call a lot of touchy stuff, and, you know, this age group is 2 years younger than the last age group we just called, and if he's calling the touchy stuff up there, you know, not a whole lot of fouling going on at this age, but I'm sure he's going to put a stop to it very quickly.
Yeah, and a lot of credit to Sailors on the far side. Touched the ball a little bit too far in front of him on that last offensive attack for Greensboro, but he has a ton of speed.
And they're going to have to try and exploit that if they, you know, want to slide in this game, as that foul is going to go on Anthony. And here's Landry with it out right back. Gonna have to try and get rid of it a little quicker than that, as that's stolen with ease by Inlow. Inlow going down the left side, looking to try and cross it in. Good coverage by Landry, however, making up for his mistake, but giving it right back, and, you know, and lucked out a little bit with that foul, but, you know, very dangerous. You know, typically coming from an outside back, you don't want to dribble too much, and Landry made the mistake there. A nice shot, kind of a little half volley there, going just over the goal, no trouble there. But Greensboro getting the first shot of the game here.
And going back to that last possession there by CRSC, Landry was trying to dribble the ball upfield. He was looking for options, and he held on for the ball for a little bit too long, but that's because he didn't have the options. So a lot of these CRSC needs to check to the ball, help out the player with the ball.
And a nice ball there, got caught up in his legs, but another through ball played in there for Wyckoff, but good recovery there by the Classics. And that throw in getting jumbled around there. Good play there. However, by a couple of different players. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name.
Tzection.
We'll go with that. And if we pronounce it wrong, our apologies.
Yeah. Here at CoachesAid.com, we thrive to do our best, and we do apologize to all the families and friends out there if we mispronounce your son's name. And we'll see how accurate these rosters are as well. And you know, we appreciate Bryant Park for hosting this event, and a great venue, great complex here in Greensboro, North Carolina. Beautiful day for soccer.
As Ellison gets subbed on there, he'll be taking this throw, and a nice long throw in, as Landry just has to body the player off. And getting into the attack now is one of the defenders there. And it's kind of bouncing around. As you were saying, not a whole lot of possession here. But if either team can get it going, then I think that's going to be the difference in this game.
Yeah, they need to spread the ball out, spread the bodies out. The majority of this game has been played on this side of the field.
And you'll see a lot of teams get caught up with that. Maybe their left side or right side in particular is stronger than the other, and they'll go down that. But, you know, the greatest part of soccer is the ability to just switch the side of the field. As that was a nice little touch in, just a little bit too close to the defender there, but a good opportunity for Greensboro. And they just give that first pass away. So much of that transition play is that first pass, and a nice couple of nifty moves there by Hart. And finally, Carolina Classics had enough of that, and
yeah, it was
double teamed them out for an easy
some
clearance.
Shake and bake there by number 17 Hart. Just could not get enough, carry his momentum to get past that last defender, but I have a feeling he's going to have a huge impact on this game.
Yeah, and I think if he realizes that he had the first defender beat, but elected to stop and try and cut it back, if he would have just kept going towards goal, then you know, he had an open opportunity. But you know, that'll come with time. These guys are still young, only the 97 age group. I believe that's the U15s out here, or U16s. But it'll come. These guys are still young and learning a lot.
I remember playing soccer at this age, and I'm sure you would agree, Chad, that you're still learning how to touch the ball, how to use your touch, and how to perfect your touch. And for all the youngsters out there trying to improve their touch, I'd encourage you to juggle the ball, kick the ball against a wall.
Ooh, a very long shot, not just sailing a bit over the crossbar there by the Classics, and that'll get the bench fired up there as that was their first attempt on goal, coming from about 40 yards out, 35-40 out, and not a bad call. That was Hoffmeister. That was his first shot of the game. Second shot for we've seen so far for either side. It looks like we have number 4 who is taped on the back as number 20. So we will assume that would be Harwood.
I think, oh, yep. And going back to that possession before that shot there by Hoffmeister, bold to take that shot, and sometimes that ball will go in. Of course, in soccer, you're not going to score unless you shoot.
Yeah, and you know, as this sub happens now, and a little confusion there by the coach on the rules, but you know, you got to take shots to score goals, and you know, if you have a boot, coaches love those long shots. You get an open look on goal from any distance within reason. You know, take that shot, take that chance.
And sometimes you can catch the goalkeeper off guard, right? You know, from my experience playing goalie, and I've been playing goalie my whole life. Those shots can sometimes be the toughest. They can be the easiest, and they can be the toughest. If you're caught off guard and caught too far forward, too far off the line, then you might pay for it.
Yeah, luckily that for Greensboro, that one was a little bit far, but you know, keepers like to play up to try and play for that through ball being slotted in there so they can be aggressive off their line. But if they're caught too far up, Pat, you're right, they can just, you know, be taken advantage of, and that can go in. A nice save there, however, by Cushman. And coming the other way now are the Classics. Good defensive play, but he probably should have just let that one go out of bounds and double team down in the corner. Back and forth play, the cross gets deflected out, and that'll be the first corner of the game, I believe. So we'll see if Greensboro can take advantage here.
If I'm not mistaken, Chad, it seems like Greensboro has had more possession in this game, not by much, because both teams are still trying to settle down, but they have won the possession battle so far.
As that corner is flicked on in a dangerous place, kind of a haphazard shot coming from about 20 out, and that one going down line. Easy play for the defender. But yeah, they have had most of the possession. Unfortunately for them, the possession hasn't been in the attacking third, which, you know, a lot of teams like to have that possession down there. But they are winning the midfield battle, which is extremely important as a few subs come on here. It's going to be Stitcher, Pretty, and number 2, Himphil.
I would like to give some credit and a shout out to the referees and the linesmen in this game. Of course, it's so easy to criticize the referees as this ball comes towards the broadcasting table, and you know, it can be so easy to criticize referees, but we know that they're trying their hardest, just as the players are, and just as we are as the broadcasters. So a lot of credit for the referees. They did a good job last game.
Yeah, you know, reffing is one of the hardest jobs. I ref for a few years back in my younger days, back in club ball, and you know, especially the aggressive parents are the toughest.
Yes.
You know, if you get them on your side, it's great, but you make a couple of wrong calls and they're right on your back, and you know, they can, as much as they say, you know, you can't influence a ref's call, you know, you're getting yelled and screamed at. That can definitely turn your calls, and no ref wants to get screamed at, especially since the coaches are providing the funds for the game.
Yes, and you know, to all those parents out there who give the refs a hard time. I'd like to challenge them to put on a referee uniform and do the job yourself, because I'm sure these guys would do 10 times better job than them. So I'm sure that won't be the case for this game, because we got a good referee crew, and as we will expect for the whole tournament.
As that one's played through, nothing really going here for the Classics except for that long ball they've been trying to play through for the latter half of probably about 10-15 minutes so far. And nothing really going for either side here. Greensboro definitely having the better of possession. As I do remember a lot at this age, and maybe a little bit younger, was a lot of kick ball, as that one's kind of bounced through, and maybe a shove pushing the back there, but looked like the keeper might have called him off that one, and the defender decided to clear it out instead.
Well, Chad, as a lifelong goalkeeper, the goalkeeper, it seemed like he called it. He called off the defender, but not loud enough. If we can't hear it from here at midfield, then he didn't say it loud enough, and that's what I tell all my goalkeepers that I coach back in Boulder, Colorado. You gotta scream it. I would do an example for all the viewers at home, but I think I hurt their ears.
Mine as well. But yeah, no doubt, and especially as a left back, always trying to play those balls back to the keeper. You gotta let us know, because we're so focused with what's in front of us that sometimes if you're not screaming at us, we're not going to be able to hear you. And sometimes we do hear you, and it's just the smarter play we feel like is just to kick it out and whatever's more comfortable, and not letting the goal in is all that matters in the end. So good play there, and we'll see how this turns out.
We do appreciate all the listeners joining us from wherever they may be watching from, whether it be down the street, across the state, across the country, international. We do enjoy your company here from CoachesAid.com.
As looks like he's tripped up, referee not going to call anything, and coming in left side now is Stitcher, putting a dangerous ball in there, and here comes a long shot, has a chance, and what a save by the goalie. As that was a pretty looking shot. I knew it had a chance, and I was going right in the bottom corner of the net from about 20 out, and
looked like a fingertip save there, and the shot was by Hemphill.
Yeah, I put that on the top 10 for SportsCenter here if we were doing the top 10 plays for the Greensboro Clash tournament. That was a heck of a save there, but unfortunately the corner is just as dangerous. We'll see how it turns out, as a good ball played in, and from my perspective it looked like a good ball, but it turned out to be behind the goal.
It fooled me too there, Chad, and it looked as if the ball was going to bend like Beckham right into that goal, but was behind the net, unfortunately, and those are those chances that neither team wants to give up. So far there hasn't been a whole lot of chances, not a whole lot of shots in the early going. So when you have a chance like that, you want to give your teammates an opportunity.
As that goal kick is played right into Hart's foot, and the long shot goes a little bit wide, but you look at all these players so far, Stitcher, Hart, these guys aren't afraid to shoot from distance, and that's really been a factor here, as we saw the save just a moment ago from the keeper, and another long shot right after that. So definitely going to have to be on his toes. Don't want to be too aggressive off the line there and caught too far out to make the save, but he's done well so far, keeping his team in it for sure.
And Hart has done a great job for Greensboro United in creating those chances and those opportunities to take shots. He has some great footwork, and he's hoping that that great footwork will pay off eventually in this game.
As it trickles around midfield here, and both teams still trying to figure things out on the possessive side, and ball trying to be played in there by Hart. Not enough oomph on it to get it through there. But you look at this, the Carolina Classics line, they're playing a very deep line, leaving a lot of space for the forwards to stay high up on their on the backs and have their back to goal on just about the 18 as deep as they're playing.
Yes.
One of the few teams you'll see playing a flat back four, what it looks like.
Yeah, and that could really hurt the team. You want players closer together so the passes are easier for players to check to the ball.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this right now. Their back four should have won that ball, but they're, almost just 5 yards outside the 18-yard box when the ball's on the other side of the midfield. They got to get up and close that gap in between the center mids and the back four if they want to try and get some possession going here, because it's just too much distance and space in between them. And Greensboro right now is taking advantage of them as this ball gets trickled around him. Not enough speed there. Good recovery there by Rackenstraw. As that one will go out for a Carolina Classics throw-in. Wide open if he can get the cross in. He does. A nice ball back stick. He's wide open. And that one just gets out of play. He should have just let it go for the throw-in, but what a ball there, and I'm not sure exactly who crossed it, but it was a nice volleyed cross in there. And
well, it's a sign of life for this CRSC team, getting some offense going. They have one shot so far. It was from pretty far out by Hoffmeister, but that's a good sign for them. Possessing the ball upfield, playing the cross. That's soccer. That's how you score goals in this game.
And that's exactly what they were trying to do, but it was Cushman that couldn't quite get on the end of the cross as he was sitting wide open on the far post. And at this age, it's tough to trap that and put a shot on goal, but later on in his career, he'll look back and maybe even watch this video and think,
yes,
man, I should have had that one. Looks like it'll be a Classics throw in here as we get a substitution. Coming on for Greensboro is Mitchell Sailors. And taking a seat now is 17 Hart. He's played well so far in the game. And a nice little ball in, a good clearance header out there, and a couple of nice passes in, and here comes the counterattack.
And the defense has handled most of these offensive possessions well by United. They haven't allowed anything too easy for this Greensboro United team.
And that's what you're going to get. The further back their defensive line plays, the less through balls they're going to be allowing on goal and less breakaways. So, I mean, in a sense, it's not a bad way to go, especially if they're kind of slower and smaller in the back, not able to win those headers as that ball just goes a little bit too far. And a nice punt, just about getting to midfield here. You don't see that a lot, especially at this age. Keeper that can consistently punt the ball.
Yeah, that punting, the punt can be so effective. It can be so dangerous. It can be an offensive opportunity. I remember in college playing against some keepers that could punt the ball very well. I used to consider myself a pretty good punter, but there's some punters, some goalies out there who can kick the ball so far, and if the offense is ready for the long punt, they can create that punt into an offensive opportunity.
As here's a chance for Greensboro if they can slide it around. Good play there. Looks like that's going to be a corner kick, but there was Harwood again getting in, and a good read there by
I think that was Sailors.
Yeah, it was Sailors. But it was a good read and a quick interception off a kind of sloppy pass in the midfield. And now another corner here for Greensboro. See if they can slide one in here. You're going to have to try and get the ball in play, as last time it went out of bounds. A good ball in there. Trickles around in the box. And they'll play it back out wide. It's not offside. It's a low-driven ball in. Gathered up with ease by the keeper. That's where that near post run would have came in crucial as the punt goes. Looks like it might have been a handball. Dropped off his chest nonetheless. And here comes Greensboro again, ready for another attack.
And Sailors can be so effective up top using his speed.
as he elected to pass that time. Nothing going. Carolina Classics defense got back. And that just booted right back into the defense. Over the head, though, and here comes Sailors again. Looks like he's just having his way up here as that one goes a little too far.
Yeah, I'd like to take a moment real quick, Chad, to say that Coach's Aid would like to thank our veterans. Happy Veterans Day weekend here from coachesaid.com, and we appreciate what our veterans have done for this country, and in order to keep America the greatest country in the world.
As this goal kick kind of drops a little short, as we do have a substitution in here now on his number 77. It's going to be Melendez. As in on goal and a shot, unfortunately right at the keeper, but a very good opportunity for Greensboro as that one just slid right in there. I believe that was number 18, that was Sailors getting in there on goal. And a great opportunity there if he could have just slid that one right in the corner. He had a wide open shot on the 6-yard box. You kind of want to put those away.
Yeah, it's going to pay off for Greensboro United. I have that feeling. They've had more opportunities.
As that clearance does not go far enough, deflected off a couple of players. And Greensboro will slow things down, try and get a little bit of possession here. You have to watch out. Looks like he might have been offsides coming around the backside there, but went out of the back, and that's really the only way the Classics have been dangerous is this long ball so far.
Yeah, and it sometimes that will pay off, and most of the times it won't. That's the long ball for you, you know. And when it pays off, it can be great. You can have create a breakaway for one of your offensive players, or a lot of times you might kick the ball too far, and straight to the goalkeeper or straight to the defense. So it's give or take.
Yeah, and if you want to play that long ball, you're going to have your forwards up all the way as high as they can go without being offsides, and playing that long ball in to be able to turn and play it through. But right now there's just too much space in between the Greensboro backs and the Classics forwards to kind of create any space and in behind. And they're also not playing the long balls far enough in as that goes out for a goal kick.
There were a couple substitutions here for Greensboro United. Stichter comes off, as well as Ellison, and Hurd and Lopez come on the field for the United.
As this goal kick goes right back in the center, and Greensboro's been winning every single goal kick so far. And a nice little pass in there, really to the back, and here comes left side now is Lopez. A good defensive play, but not out yet. And there's the long shot. Should be an easy one for the keeper to gather up, and it is. So that shot going there by number 19, Hurd.
And I don't mind that shot there by Hurd. He was outside the 18. It came from some distance, but like I said before, you're not going to score in this great sport of soccer unless you shoot the ball.
As the Classics see the first time on the other side of their attacking half, the first time in 5 or so minutes, as a substitution now. And that ball played pretty dangerously in there. Classics still have it and could end up trickling in on goal here. That's some nice play there by Greensboro to get the ball out.
And interesting stats so far here. 5-2 in favor of Greensboro for shots.
And that's been fairly clear. Greensboro's had most of the possession, and not surprising. Unfortunately, those shots, 5 of those shots, I'd say probably 2 of them should have been on goal, or in the back of the goal, excuse me.
Yeah.
That one with the great save earlier we saw from the long distance effort, that one, very good save. Could have been 1-0, and that other one That was right on the 6-yard box. I believe Sailors had it. Could have passed it right in the corner, as sideline referee here lets us know that there's about 5 minutes left. A nice little cross in there. And there's another long distance effort. Going to be chased out by the keeper. And he will snag that one up.
And yeah, so I was mistaken. Actually, CRSC has one shot, and that was on goal. Now United with 6 shots, and you're right, Chad. I mean, they've had some great opportunities. I'm speaking of Greensboro United, but they have to put the ball in the back of the net. They could dominate this game as much as one team can, but they're not going to win unless they finish those shots.
Yeah, that's true. And, you know, you always love to see shots, but, you know, at this point, this game could be won by either team. 0-0 game. You got to start putting your opportunities away. As a big touch there. Looks like it'll be a little bit too far, and it will go out for a goal kick. But if that touch is a little closer, that could have been a goal, or at least an attempt on net.
Yeah, and yeah, it's all in that first touch. Great pass by Hurd. He saw Sailors, you know, making that run. Great run by Sailors, but that first touch, too much mustard, and goal kick here for CRSC.
And another win. Sailors just kind of boots it up. Gonna have to be one out by the defenders of CRSC, and it is not. Finally, it's played out, but you know, you'd think after Greensboro had been winning all of the goal kicks, they'd start putting bodies in front to win those, as the goal kicks have been fairly shortened to the middle. So CRSC just not really picking up on that, and gonna have to if they want to try and keep this Greensboro team from ending the half with a goal.
I'd like to point out a substitution from moments ago. Pretty came in for Ray. Yeah, and you know, possession in the upper third is so critical, so important for creating those easy looks for both teams.
As the free kick sails in, a nice little diving header out. You don't see that very often at this age. And the header won there. Sailor's going to have an opportunity on net. He shoots, and a good save there by the CRSC keeper. So so far he's my MVP candidate forerunner, as he's been playing well, keeping his team alive here, as this game easily could be 2 or 3-0 at this point. Looks like there's a handball. Ref saw it as well. So another free kick. And you know, Pat, how important would this be to end this half with a goal for Greensboro?
Oh, that will be a huge momentum shift going into that second half. They've definitely dominated this game. Sometimes it just takes one to get the next 3.
Yeah, that's exactly what we saw in the last game. As that shot goes well over, and yeah, one goal they had in the first half for Danville Blast, they slotted one away in the first half, and that just opened up the door for those next 2 to come in the second half. So, you know, it was you know, all it takes is that first goal for the gates to open.
Yeah, and you said it, and here's a quick substitution. Hart comes in for Detterding, but yeah, and I feel like it's going to come here for Greensboro United. They've had the chances. Yeah, they just need to put the ball away. We'll see if it comes. With Hart comes back on. He's one of those go-to guys up top for Greensboro.
There's their coach calling for a through ball. Nice little flick there, however, by Hoffmeister, as that ball will be tried to play through, but it'll go out of bounds. Our camera operator down there not able to make the play to save it.
A little bit disappointed in him.
Not a bad thing for Carolina, though, because, you know, I think it'll be important for them to get out of this half with a 0-0. That would be a victory for the first half for them, as much as Greensboro's had this.
Oh yeah,
had the opportunities.
Absolutely, huge victory for them. A lot of credit, as you said, to the goalkeeper, but also to the defense. You know, they've allowed some opportunities for Greensboro. Some of them they should have scored on, but nothing too easy for them, for Greensboro United. And
a shocker of a call here. definitely don't agree with that one, but as it was number 9, Hoffmeister, going down the right side, and he was clearly beaten to the ball, and he tripped himself up. However, the ball not a very good one. Gonna have to be a little bit more dangerous, as very well could have been the one goal that Carolina Soccer Club needed to come out with a huge momentum swing.
And sometimes you see that. Oftentimes you see that. One team dominates the whole first half, or sometimes the whole game. A lot of shots on goal, a lot of possession, but one opportunity gives the other team the lead.
And that'll do it for the first half here of the Carolina Soccer Club versus the Greensboro United Soccer Association Red, the U16s here. So 0-0 at the end of the half. We'll go to a quick break and be more here in about 15 minutes. Greensboro United Red versus the Carolina Classics. And so far, this game has been pretty lopsided. I'd say Greensboro's had the better of play, as I believe Pat will back me up. They've had numerous amount more shots than the Carolina Classics going into the Sun, so I can't imagine how they'd be doing now, as they sure are excited to get that sun out of their eyes and maybe be able to see the goal in their, they missed 2 or 3 opportunities they should have put away 6 yards out.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for the second half here, Chad. It's going to be interesting. Greensboro United goalless in that first half. They deserved some goals. They're looking for some goals. You do have to give credit to CRSC for keeping them scoreless, but it's going to be an interesting second half to see who scores first and who wins this game.
Yeah, I think even if if the Carolina Classics score first, Greensboro's just got so much going for them right now, unless they completely just put themselves in a huge hole. And, it very well could happen. I think Greensboro's got full control of this game other than the scoreboard, which in the end is the only thing that matters. So
yeah, you're right. And, I could talk about stats all day. Speaking of, real quick, Greensboro United has 7 shots, 4 shots on goal. CRSC just has 1 shot in this game on goal, but from some distance.
Yeah, and it's been a tough ride here for CRSC, but I think if they do sneak one in, I heard their coach talking about some of the adjustments they were going to make at halftime, and they could come out here and sneak a quick one in, and they very well as they held Greensboro in the first half. You'd think they could have the juice in them to maybe hold them off for another half here.
Now, my question to you, Chad, what if you were in the shoes of the head coach for Greensboro United, what would you have told your team during halftime?
Well, let's see how this cross turns out, as that's a dangerous one, and good clearance there, as a very dangerous ball. But if I was Greensboro, I'd tell them to, guys, just keep doing what you're doing. Maybe try and find a little bit more possession. Maybe not so many long-distance shots. Try and break down this defensive back line for the Classics, as they're still playing extremely deep. As looks like Sailor's going to play that one across. Good tackle there in the top of the 18, and they just can't clear it. Going in now and trickling around there a little bit. Sailor's finding it again, giving it up, and a good stop there by Guillermo.
It's a huge chance for Greensboro United to sneak one past CRSC on this corner kick. We did see some earlier opportunities by them, a corner kick that they didn't really take advantage of, so we'll see if they do here.
And here comes another corner kick here for Greensboro. Good ball in, even better clearance, however, by O'Neill. Unfortunately not far enough, as the ball is still trickling around. Finally gathered up there by Melendez. He plays it forward, not enough speed on the pass, and that's going to be saved from going out of bounds by Hurd. Back to the keeper, who looks like they changed their keeper in. He's got a penny on now. I'm not sure who they exchanged out there.
If I'm not mistaken, so number 23, Sophia, was playing goalkeeper for United in the first half.
And a dangerous ball played in. They have a chance to go. Woohoo! A very dangerous one there. And, you know, we're talking about all it takes is that one opportunity. And there it was for the taking. A ball dropped right at his feet on the 7 or 8 yards out. And you know, with a new goalkeeper out there, you know, he very well could have just slid that one right through there.
Yeah, and that was a huge chance for CRSC. Just a good, you know, offensive opportunity that they truly needed in order just to get some momentum, show some life there on the offensive side.
As this ball is still trickling around, and Melinda has shown some speed there. Couldn't quite get to it, but nonetheless, the acceleration was there. See if he can save this one from going out of bounds, and looks like the keeper will watch that trickle out for a goal kick, but you know, Carolina Classic seems to have woken up here in the second half and came out ready to play.
And yeah, and I do agree, Chad. They definitely seeing a different team in CRSC, which is great to see. Now, I think this is a pretty good time for the Coach's Aid trivia question. And it's going to be last one was pretty tough, Chad. You had a good guess, but this one is a little bit easier. We are around the MLS playoffs going on right now. And speaking of, the first MLS championship, who played in it, when did it take place, and who won?
Jeez. Well, I feel like the MLS is a little bit newer than the World Cup, obviously, and you know, or maybe not. You can't stop second guessing yourself, but I'm gonna go with 19.
It's a good start.
1954. We'll just throw that one out there, just because I can't see anything. That might even be too early of a guess, but you said where was it played and who won it?
Who played it in, and or I should say who won? Just who won the first World Cup?
I'll go with we'll say the New York Red Bulls. We'll give it to them. If they were even around then.
Well, at the time they were the New York, New Jersey Metro Stars.
Okay.
And I remember that because my favorite soccer player ever, goalkeeper Tony Miola, was on that team.
Yeah, that is way back.
So we will have that answer for you in a few minutes. And I know the suspense will be tough to handle, but it will be coming in just a little bit.
There's another opportunity there for the Carolina Soccer Club. Their coach on the sidelines yelling for the ball to be played through. And look at this little burst of speed by Lopez. He's going down all the way on the left side, plays a nice cross through, but a good clearance there. And the long ball played a little bit too far. I thought I heard a whistle. Could have been from another field, so looks like we will have a goal kick, but you know, Lopez, great speed on the left side. He's put a couple of dangerous crosses in so far in the game, and
yeah,
you're gonna have to look for that to be a danger if you're CUSC.
He has the idea down. Get that ball across. Well, first take it to the corner, play that ball across, and let your forwards and your teammates run onto it. Now, I think he needs more help from his forwards. I think they need to show for more of those crosses.
As this goal kick has been bouncing around, a couple different players. Nobody's settling it down quite yet. As finally Greensboro obtains possession, and you know, they're looking over there to try and feed Lopez as he's wide open on that left side. Now he's going to play the early ball in. A good ball. And, you know, again, Greensboro just not getting ahead on it. That was a free ball. And I believe that was 10, or no, it wasn't 10. Couldn't quite tell who could have got on the end of that there on the back post, but if he would have taken a couple of steps forward, he would have had a wide open opportunity on goal.
Yeah, that was Sailors as he finally turns his back to us. And also number 22 making a run for that ball, Anthony. But they needed to be a little bit higher up Of course, you have to be careful not to go off sides, but if you play a little bit higher in line with the defense, they could have had a chance for that cross.
And here's Melendez left side now for CRSC. A couple of plays, and they're going to call the foul there as it looks like it was Lavi that got tangled up there, and here could come the first goal of the game. Free kick left side, about 40 yards out. A dangerous ball in, and the shot goes just wide. A great volley there. I want to say that was Hoffmeister with the shot there.
Yeah,
and what a dangerous ball. That could have been it for CRSC.
Oh, yeah. You have to give Hoffmeister a lot of credit for getting a foot on that. He came out of nowhere. But also give credit for the player, Lavi, who played the service ball in off the free kick. He played that ball perfectly, right where you want to put it, in between the 6-yard box and the penalty stripe.
And that was a very high skill level volley there, right off the high cross, as here comes Sailor's right side, plays the ball in, and Anthony trying to get on the end of it, but instead it's Hurd, and the shot goes, and he will put that away for the first goal, as Greensboro finally getting on the score sheet after a long time, and that's going to be disappointing as CRSC was finally finding some life in him.
Yeah, that was a heartbreaker for CRSC. Give a lot of credit for the Greensboro United, the goal by Hurd, and that was his second shot. It does pay off as Greensboro United strikes first here in the second half. My question to you, Chad, do you expect 2 or 3 more goals to follow after that?
I would say yeah, but I really like the life that CRSC has found, and they finally started playing well, getting some calls their way, getting some things going their way, but in the end I think Greensboro will end up winning this game, but I think CRSC definitely has a chance to put one up on the board here in the second half.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting. Greensboro United has a lot of threats up top, a lot of fast players, specifically in Sailors, a lot of fancy footwork from Hart that we've seen, and from Anthony. So
Lopez left side.
Yes, Lopez, of course, who creates those opportunities. I feel like he'll create a lot more. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how CRSC can respond to that first goal.
Sophia comes on for United.
And it looks like there's a player down, or is that somebody from a different team just laying down on the sidelines over there? Had cleats in a dark colored jersey. You couldn't tell whether that was from CRSC. It looks like it wasn't, so we'll continue play here as the substitution earlier was Stitcher and Ellison. Now I missed that one who just came on.
That was number 23, the goalkeeper from the first half, Sophia, and number 8, Blea, comes off for United.
So Sophia must have been getting a little bit bored back there in goal in the first half. Got out
Yes.
a little bit more action if he would have stayed in for the second half.
A little bit more.
As that ball is played out wide. Trying to do too much on the sidelines here, and if they can play him in, Anthony fighting for it there on the right side, finally gets possession in a wide open Sailors, and it looks like, I'm surprised the ref didn't call that foul. A nice lunging tackle again by Sailors to try and retain possession, but nothing going, and the clearance goes right to Greensboro United, and here they come again, just ready to shove it back in there, and a good tackle there. Looked like that was 28 Keene. Haven't said his name much, and there's a foul on CRSC, and a chance to put another goal in here for Greensboro.
Yeah, and CRSC, they're not playing bad defense, but they're clearing the ball. When they clear the ball, they clear it right back to Greensboro United, and that's where they just hit the replay button and start over.
And I don't know if I We put 4 guys in the wall there, but a long shot, and wow.
Looked like that went in for a second.
Looked like it went in, but the keeper will tell you he had it covered, and that was just a little bit over the goal. I'm not sure if the long shot was the best choice there, but nonetheless it happened. And another substitution here for CRSC. Cushman comes back in here as the goal kick will go for CRSC.
If I'm not mistaken, on the shot was number 32, Camp, the defender. And, you know, as a defender, Chad, when you have a chance to take a shot, you will take it, of course, whether it was the best option or not. A lot of defenders love taking those shots.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. But, you know, you always love defenders aren't supposed to score goals, or, you know, in theory, they're not supposed to score goals or get too much in the attack because they're a defender. But when those opportunities arise, you better believe we're going to take them. As the foul was called there, a tough 50-50 challenge. CRSC played quick and couldn't get much out of it. Here comes Anthony now. Nice little step over. Tried to play a through ball there to Sailors, but too direct, and it's cleared out with ease by the CRSC defenders.
You know, I appreciate a player who attempts the step over or attempts the fancy move past a defender, because the more you practice it, not only during practice but during a game, the better chance you'll have at perfecting it. And so do give credit for Anthony.
As that ball played in, not quite long enough, and that one was out of bounds. Good call by the linesman here. Went off Hurd and out of bounds.
So coachesaid.com, we are glad to be here at Bryant Park in beautiful Greensboro, North Carolina. And thank you for joining us here, part of the Amateur Sports Broadcasting Network. And we do encourage you to browse our website, coachesaid.com, to see what other packages we have to offer. And DVDs, we do sell DVDs, team packages for DVDs, also individual highlights. And this game will be up online in about 3 to 5 days. So you could search the on-demand section of our website to check out this game and other games from this weekend.
Or we are streaming live, are we not?
Yes, we are.
So any family, relatives, friends that can't make the game, too far away, just not able to get out and about these days, can just go online and watch a game, which was not around when we were kids, that's for sure.
And I wish it was, Chad. We were talking about this in game one. I really wish that I could that'd be able to watch myself play, and you can learn a lot from that. Just from seeing what your mistakes and seeing what you can do better. You see it when you watch it.
And not a bad investment for a coach either, as getting in the attack is the right back for Greensboro, Hurd. And a hard foul, as can't tell exactly who that was on the ground for CRSC, but looks like he's in some pain.
Yeah, that's not a good sign for CRSC. They need all the help they can get. They do have some good amount of substitutions, so they do have some backups. But you hate to see a player go down as hard as he did. We know that soccer can be a pretty dangerous and pretty aggressive sport.
And one of the great things I love about club ball is, especially at this age, is whenever a player goes down, everybody else takes a knee until that player gets up and is okay. And you can't teach these players enough about the simple aspects of sports and sportsmanship, camaraderie, all the little emotional things that go into making this sport as great as it is. And this just brings back some funny memories about all the different games we've had, and I completely forgot, because in college we just never take knees for the other team. I don't know,
that's true.
It's just, it never happens, and it's so funny to see at this age. Well, not necessarily funny, but it's great to see the show of respect as the Greensboro coach coming over here and making sure he's okay too.
It's refreshing, it's because as you get older, more competitive, you lose sight of the sportsmanship aspect. And here at Coach's Aid, we're an advocate for sportsmanship. We're also an advocate for leadership. We have our leadership program here that we are very active on. So, but sportsmanship, it's great to see. As you get older, in college, it was normal for when there was an injury, that was a good time to grab some water from the bench.
Yeah.
Which, obviously has its advantages. But at this level, you like to see sportsmanship first.
And you can't do enough teaching the fundamentals of soccer, especially at this age. That's when all that comes along, and you love when players take that knee. And it was great to see the coach showing the sign of respect from Greensboro to come over and shake the injured player's hand. As this free kick a little bit short, and here comes CRSC the other way. Can't quite connect, and that's going to be offsides. That was a great call by the referee there. If he wasn't going to call it, I was going to stand up and wave my water bottle.
Yep.
That was not a bad play, but a good offsides trap set there by Greensboro United.
Yeah, the thought was there, and at this age and at earlier ages, still at the oldest of ages, you still like to see players improve on their intelligence and their knowledge of this great sport. You like to see that the thought was there. No, they did not execute to perfection, but the thought was certainly present.
There's another substitution. Lopez coming back on for Greensboro, and looks like it is Cawley coming on for CRSC. So we'll see if Lopez can exploit this. So he's playing on the right side now. A little change up from earlier. And the long shot going. It's stopped. Lopez gets it again. Takes a left-footed boot from about 18 out and ends up rolling right to the keeper's hand. Not a bad effort.
Yeah, I like that idea by Lopez, that shot left-footed, so obviously not his stronger foot. But, yeah, he pulled the trigger, took the shot. Sometimes that shot will pay off. Sometimes it won't.
And, the least you can get out of it is a nice rebound. And if you got players crashing the goal, that's an easy goal you can just slot right away. As looks like they've moved Hurd from right back up to the right mid spot. And he's been getting in the attack quite a bit. He's easily the tallest player on the field. Looks like he's about 2 years older than the rest of everybody as tall as he is.
He's everybody's big brother.
Yeah. As that one goes off his foot and out. So throw in here for CRSC. Just about midfield. And looks like they'll call the foul there. Would have liked to see an advantage play, because looks like CRSC had the advantage going down the line, but referee decided to not let it go. And the thing is, we talk about these refs making these. I talk about them making the calls. I wish I'd see a little bit more advantage too from our center referee.
Yeah, you like to see the advantage call by the ref. You don't like to stop the play, especially at this age. These kids are still perfecting their skill, and they're still learning with every single play. They don't learn from a lot of calls. They learn from their play. So I would have to agree with you. And but what I wouldn't agree with you on, Chad, is the answer to your trivia question.
Here we go.
I would, like to say that you were close on the date of the first MLS championship, but you were not. But, it was, you guessed 1954. It's a lot younger of a league than you would think.
I knew it was younger than that.
MLS started in 1996.
No way.
And our producer, Jeremy, guessed 1996. And so we'll give him some credit points.
96, that's wild.
And Jeremy, of course, he's on the production. Do you have a guess for who won it?
Chicago Fire.
Chicago Fire. Good guess. As the corner kick comes in. Sorry to cut into the play there, Chad. But so Chicago Fire, good guess. They actually won the third MLS championship. The first 2 were won by DC United.
That would have been my second.
And they won the first one over LA and the second one over the Colorado Rapids.
I can't believe how young the MLS is. As that's a nice through ball played in there. Coming around the outside, making the turn is Lavi. Tries to cross the ball in, but with no avail. Only didn't have too many numbers in the box, so a good save by the substitute keeper. Lopez with a great touch off the punt and plays the long ball in, as Hurd will try and gather it up over on the right side. Lets it go out of bounds for a Greensboro throw-in, and a couple of subs coming on here. It's going to be Anthony checking back in, as well as Stitcher for Greensboro, and for CRSC it's going to be Tzection, as we'll go with that pronunciation.
Better than my guess, I would say. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this game turns out. CRSC anxious to score goals at this point, down by 1 goal. Chad, what do they need to do to put the ball into the back of the net?
Well, it's going to be important. They're going to have to start getting more numbers into the boxes. Their only way they've really gotten opportunities so far is that outside through ball, and the ref calling that foul over there. But they're going to have to get, they get the through balls in, but they don't push enough numbers forward to keep the ball in there, and that's exactly what they're going to have to do if they want to try and put a goal away or put a nice ball in here off this free kick as it is, and try to be flicked on, and looks like it'll try to be volleyed, but it goes a little too high, a little bit misjudged, and Greensboro will survive that one. As you got to kind of expect CRSC to start throwing numbers forward here, down 1. They're going to have to make something happen if they want to get a goal here, as they've kind of struggled here so far in this game.
They've had some random opportunities, though, and if they could create somehow create more of those chances, they could catch Greensboro United off guard. Speaking of.
And looks like Rakistra will tell you he wasn't caught off guard, as he came across and cleared that with ease, but not a bad opportunity there for CRSC, as they're starting to kind of sneak in there. Slowly but surely they're making their way to goal, and that wasn't a bad free kick earlier we saw, and another opportunity here on the left side to get a nice throw in there, as that one's hit out and going to be stopped, unfortunately out of bounds, as Doheny couldn't quite handle the pass. And Sailors will play a through ball to himself, and looks like obstruction is going to be the call.
Yeah, and actually somewhat of a smart foul there by the defender. Sailors is quick,
Yeah,
and if he didn't bump, the defender didn't bump Sailors, Sailors would have jumped on his horse. He would have gotten to that ball first, so not a bad foul.
Yeah, not a bad foul. I think the goalkeeper had it covered. I think he played the ball a little bit too far, but defender might not have seen that, and that comes with the communication we were talking about earlier with the goalie. But a free kick here and flicked on, and could have been an opportunity there if the flick was a little less powerful, gathered up by the keeper, and the long punt.
So that's Lopez's third shot, and definitely United to keep racking up those shots. So far they have 11 shots, and 6 of those shots were on goal. So it's Greensboro United escaping their defense. The ball gets touched out of bounds.
And it looks like I got to go run over to snag another game, so you'll be on your own for this last little bit. I'm glad we could get the question down there. That was the most important part. I appreciate it, Patrick, and I'm sure I'll see you here tomorrow.
Yeah, good stuff from Chad Gunter, and it's a pleasure doing the game with him as a Guilford soccer player. I'm a Guilford soccer player alumni, and so it's always nice to stay within the family. And it's going to be on the near side, handled well by CRSC. Defender, he clears the ball up to midfield. Booted back forward by Greensboro United. Back and forth, back and forth. And now joining me on the mic is Jeremy. And Jeremy's been busy on the production side of it. And Jeremy, what have you seen from this game?
A lot of opportunities, both sides, both from the United and also the Greensboro. I mean, both sides had plenty of chances. You know, it could be 5 or 6 goals scored in this game so far, but both goalies have shown out with outstanding saves.
You know, that's a good point, and another big opportunity. Whoa! This one inside the box. So a PK coming up for CRSC.
This could do it. This could be an equalizer here.
So after Greensboro United has clearly been dominating this game, CRSC has a chance for the equalizer here in the later minutes.
Big momentum swing.
Here it comes, the whistle, the shot, top shelf, where Mama puts the peanut butter. We are all tied up at 1.
Who put the cookies on top of the shelf?
That was number 9 for CRSC, Hoffmeister with the finish.
And all of a sudden we have a tie ball game here.
So what a change of events here, possible momentum shift, Jeremy.
As I've spoken of earlier, yeah, I mean, yeah, both sides, it's been a clear one-sided game on opportunities wise for Greensboro, excuse me, and haven't been able to capitalize, and that one opportunity, you know, make the best of it.
So here is CRSC trying to pass the ball forward, read well by Hurd. He'll take his space, tries to play the ball through, but nobody's home. Keeper comes out for the scoop. But I like the idea there by Hurd, but
Very
just not
clever,
the best
yes.
execution. But here's an executed pass, a through ball for the near side for Lavy. Stalls, passes forward, too much. Handled well by the defense and cleared away to midfield, out of bounds, CRSC ball.
You'll try to see both teams try to pressure into getting an opportunity on the scoring end here.
Yeah, so it seems like, Jeremy, that both teams are going to be a little bit more anxious to get that
Very aggressive, yes.
get that go-ahead goal. That makes for some fun soccer. Hurd on the throw-in. CRSC wins it, kicks it forward. Lavy keeps the ball in bounds, cuts towards the middle. Chance for the give and go, but Colley could not pass it back, could not keep possession. Lopez at midfield. Too far forward, touched out of bounds off of CRSC. Lopez down the near side. And it was number 18, Sailors, keeps the ball in bounds for United. Ball played forward. The defender.
Great idea there.
Chasing it down. Yeah, great idea, you know, and they need the goal.
They really do. Well, with the game, I mean, this could have easily been a 2-goal lead for the Greensboro here with the amount of chances they had on their offensive end.
Well, here is Spencer trying to maneuver past the defender, passes back the shot, and the scoop for a save by the keeper. The shot was by Cushman. But a different team here in the second half, Jeremy, for
I would say, yes,
CRSC.
very much so.
They had 1 shot in the first half. They've had about 6 or 4 shots here in the second half, 5 shots, excuse me, six total. Lopez with the shot, left-footed, straight to the keeper.
And I'll give you a bold prediction. As of right now, if Carolina wins this game, their MVP will have to be their goalie. As many opportunities as they had to score, he's kept them out of the net.
Yeah, that's a great point, Jeremy. He's been playing fantastic. Quick ball played forward off the free kick. Handled well by United. They can't keep the ball in bounds. A couple substitutions. For Carolina, it's Keene and also O'Neill. For Greensboro United, coming into the game is Ellison. Now coming off, it's number 14, Wyckoff for Carolina. Also number 12, Guillermo. Coming off for Greensboro United is number 34, Stichter. It's not a whole lot of time left, Jeremy.
Got to go now, yeah.
The score is 1-1. United scored first. CRSC, Carolina
Look
with
out,
the equalizer.
big break here, 4-2.
Sailors plays the ball forward. One-on-one, this shot.
Offsides.
Ooh. Very, very interesting.
Mm.
I don't know.
Could have gone 50-50. So I mean, it's a good call and it's a bad call. Could win anyway. So.
Wow. So the goal was taken back. And the score is still 1-1. Now, we didn't have the best look at that, the best angle.
Yeah, but referee's idea is always best. Let's just keep it at that.
Yep. On the far side, it's Spencer, gets the ball taken by Anthony. Anthony with some space to dribble, passes up the sidelines to Sailors. The ball taken off his foot. Some shake and bake on the far side by O'Neal.
Nice, nifty footwork there.
He does lose the ball out of bounds, and a substitution set to come on here for United.
That might have just boosted the morale of Carolina there. Disallowed goal on an offside. Questionable call, but nonetheless, called back.
So Pretty will come on for Sailors. Up at the forward position. And still enough time for both teams to put 1 or 2 goals into the back of that net.
Thrown
And
in.
great step there by Hurd. Hurd, the goal scorer for United in this second half. Big win at midfield for United. Here's Ellison with the pass forward to Pretty. Pretty trying to chase it down. Won by number 20, O'Neal. He kicks it out of bounds. United ball. Ball played down the sidelines too far, but the right idea. You want to put that ball down the sidelines.
Yeah, you got to be smart. These last couple minutes of the game could be crucial to either team.
So it's Ellison trying to make something happen. Runs out of real estate. It's going to be Carolina ball on the defensive end. Now, the ball's on Carolina's half. This United team needs to keep up the pressure.
They've got to. If they do not, one team will capitalize eventually.
Yeah, and well, actually, not enough time to do so. The final whistle, and the final score is 1-1.